Recently, a man exploring remote areas of the United States on Google Earth stumbled upon something peculiar: 4 large, black, monolithic structures standing isolated in the middle of a desert national wildlife range. These objects, perfectly aligned and jet black in color, seem to rise out of the empty landscape with no discernible purpose or nearby human structures to explain their existence. Located in a barren, arid region with no apparent roads, buildings, or even pathways nearby, the discovery has puzzled online communities and fueled speculation about their origins, sparking questions about whether these objects are remnants of human activities, mysterious government installations, or something altogether more enigmatic. The man's initial discovery on Google Earth was pure chance. While zooming in on the desert landscape, he noticed the monolithic shapes standing out sharply against the sandy terrain. The objects are not small. From the Google Earth satellite imagery, they appear to be around 10 to 20 feet tall and maintain a rectangular, almost industrial design, similar to the famous monoliths depicted in science fiction, most notably in Arthur C. Clarke's 2001, A Space Odyssey. Their stark contrast against the desert backdrop instantly caught the man's attention, prompting him to post his findings on social media and forums dedicated to mysterious and unexplained phenomena. The coordinates quickly went viral as others opened up Google Earth and confirmed the sighting of the 4 black structures in the middle of the National Wildlife Range. Each object appears almost identical in size and shape, arranged with a symmetry that implies a deliberate placement, yet they are entirely alone in a vast, empty stretch of desert. This layout raises questions, as one would expect that structures of such a size and design would be accompanied by some supporting infrastructure or at least a pathway or road for access. Yet the satellite images show no signs of human activity in the surrounding area. No vehicle tracks, no power lines, no facilities, nothing that would suggest a reason for the monoliths to exist in such a remote location. Speculation has erupted, with some theorizing that these structures could be related to secretive government or military operations. The US military has a known history of testing in secluded desert areas, from missile tests to the development of new technologies, often in zones closed off to public access. Certain locations in Nevada have fueled decades of speculation, largely due to their remote placement and the veil of secrecy that surrounds them. In this context, the monolithic structures could theoretically serve as markers, observation towers, or signal posts for unmanned or experimental technologies being tested in the area. However, there is no concrete evidence linking these objects to any government program, and their purpose, if they do indeed serve a purpose, remains unexplained. Other theories have proposed that the monoliths may be art installations or monuments left by an unknown artist. The desert has long been a canvas for large-scale art projects that aim to highlight humanity's relationship with vast, untouched landscapes. The idea that the monoliths could have been placed there by someone or something, while fantastical, has captivated the imagination of many who see them as akin to the monoliths in A Space Odyssey. In that novel, monoliths were left by an advanced extraterrestrial civilization as markers or signals, guiding humanity's development across millennia. While there is no scientific evidence to support this notion, the strange placement of these structures in an otherwise untouched landscape has led some to question whether there could be something more extraordinary behind their existence. Supporters of the extraterrestrial theory argue that the absence of human infrastructure around the monoliths, combined with their stark and mysterious design, could signify that they are not human-made or are intended for a purpose beyond human understanding. Further investigation into the history and satellite images of the area has provided few clues. Going back in time with Google Earth's historical imagery feature reveals that the monoliths have been present for at least a few years, though their exact date of appearance is hard to pinpoint due to the infrequent updates in such remote regions. The area itself is devoid of any other markings or signs of construction, which would typically accompany installations of such magnitude. If they were constructed as part of a project, it would have required extensive planning and resources, making the lack of accompanying infrastructure even more puzzling. Environmentalists and conservationists have raised concerns about the structures, given their presence in a national wildlife range. Desert wildlife ranges are protected lands, established to preserve the natural landscape and provide habitats for various species, often in fragile ecosystems. The introduction of large, unnatural structures could potentially disrupt local wildlife or interfere with migration patterns. This consideration adds another layer to the mystery, as the structure's presence could indicate unauthorized activity in protected lands, raising questions about oversight and enforcement in such isolated areas. Until further investigation provides a clearer answer, the mystery of the monoliths remains unresolved. The objects, which first appeared in satellite images from May 2018, have reminded many observers of the famous Utah monolith that sparked a global sensation when it was discovered in the Utah desert in late 2020. Much like this previous monolith, the four large black structures in the National Wildlife Range share a sleek, minimalist design and appear in an otherwise untouched desert landscape. The Utah monolith, a tall, silver, reflective pillar, had captivated the public's imagination with its mysterious, seemingly alien placement and origin, evoking a sense of wonder and sparking viral speculation. The resemblance of these newer desert monoliths to the Utah structure has prompted many to question whether this could be part of an ongoing, deliberate placement by an unknown entity, be it an artist, a clandestine organization, or something beyond human explanation. As with the Utah monolith, these black objects seem to defy easy categorization. The 2020 monolith in Utah became infamous not only for its enigmatic appearance, but also for the intense public reaction it generated. Thousands of people speculated about its purpose, and enthusiasts even trekked across rough terrain to visit it in person, only for it to vanish just as mysteriously a few days later. Many interpreted it as an artistic statement, a cultural commentary, or an homage to science fiction. After the Utah monolith's sudden disappearance, similar structures began appearing in various places worldwide, from California to Romania, leading many to believe that these were part of a coordinated artistic movement or series of installations. However, the objects found in this US National Wildlife Range differ in some important ways. First, the black desert monoliths are significantly larger than the Utah monolith, towering in isolation in the vast desert expanse with a commanding presence that makes them look even more intentional. Additionally, the placement of the Utah monolith was eventually traced to an area accessible by small, obscure trails, whereas these four structures are in a location so remote that there are no visible access roads, pathways, or any signs of recent human activity in the vicinity. This inaccessibility and their larger scale add to the mystery, suggesting that if they were installed by humans, it would have required a significant amount of effort, planning, and resources to transport and place them there. The Utah monolith's impact on global pop culture has influenced the way these newer structures are perceived, as people cannot help but draw comparisons. The striking placement of these four black monoliths has led some to wonder if they might be a continuation of the Utah monolith phenomenon, possibly installed by an artist or collective hoping to create a long-lasting mystery that spans deserts, countries, and even continents. Others wonder if these structures might have a different purpose entirely, one more secretive or scientific in nature. The fact that these monoliths appeared as early as 2018, well before the Utah monolith garnered public attention, raises questions about the intent behind these installations and whether they are related at all to the 2020 phenomenon. In addition to the mysterious origin, the May 2018 appearance date has stirred further interest in their purpose. Some have pointed out that 2018 saw an increase in discussions about military and private interest in desert testing grounds, particularly for advanced technology like drones, unmanned vehicles, and environmental monitoring devices. If these monoliths are indeed tied to such projects, they may serve a purpose beyond simple aesthetic appeal, perhaps as signal markers, experimental communication devices, or even data collection instruments that operate under the radar. The smooth, dark exteriors of these structures could suggest stealth materials or construction techniques designed to minimize detection or interference, adding to the intrigue and the theories that they could be connected to classified activities. While the monolith's aesthetic evokes the same minimalist, almost otherworldly design of the Utah monolith, the appearance of these structures within a national wildlife range has led some to speculate that they could represent a new kind of land art or environmental installation, one intended to be discovered serendipitously through digital mapping tools like Google Earth. These tools have allowed people around the world to become modern explorers, finding and sharing discoveries that would have otherwise remained unknown. In this sense, the placement of the black monoliths in such a remote area could be an invitation for discovery, encouraging viewers to engage with the desert landscape and think about humanity's relationship with vast, unexplored spaces. However, despite the allure of an art installation theory, the apparent size and inaccessible location of these monoliths make it unlikely that they were placed purely for artistic purposes. Unlike the Utah monolith, which was easily accessible by visitors, these 4 objects seem intentionally placed in a way that makes them nearly impossible to reach by conventional means, leading many to suspect that their purpose might be practical or scientific rather than artistic. The question of who placed these objects in the desert and why remains unanswered, as no organization or individual has come forward to claim responsibility or offer an explanation. The similarity to the Utah monolith has only amplified the public's curiosity, fueling discussions about modern-day mysteries, the power of unexplored landscapes, and the role of technology in shaping our encounters with the unknown. In a world where digital technology has made it possible to scrutinize every corner of the Earth, these monoliths remind us that there are still places and phenomena that resist easy explanation. The remote placement and unexpected discovery of the 4 black monoliths in a protected wildlife range offer a mystery reminiscent of ancient structures like Stonehenge or the Easter Island statues, monuments whose exact purpose, origin, and creators remain obscured by time and the limits of our knowledge.